Hi, my name is Jolie DeCleva, and I'm so happy to have you here. I am going to talk to you today about natural childbirth and how you can use essential oils to get you through that beautiful, wonderful, amazing time, but also pretty intense time of labor. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm a mom of five. I'm an essential oil enthusiast, and I'm a health educator. So I look forward to showing you what I came up with when I combined my 15 years of experience as a natural childbirth educator with my love for essential oils. All right, so let's jump in. First of all, I want to say that coaches need to watch this video because you need to be on the right page, the same page, exactly knowing what you're going for in labor. Because honestly, it's your labor support person that's going to be doing the massaging, that's going to be putting the diffuser on, that's going to be reminding you to change positions and control your breathing and all that good stuff. So get them hooked up with this video and we'll walk you through exactly what to do at every step of labor. Couple cautions: you do not want to use oils that are going to induce labor during pregnancy. So you're not going to use clary sage or jasmine until you're given the okay for using those oils specifically to induce labor or to add to contractions you're already having. So that's a little caution. Having said that, let's start with early labor. Early labor is when the contractions you're having form a pattern and they're coming every 15 minutes or so. And that's when you actually want to use clary sage and you want to use jasmine. That's going to encourage your uterus to contract. And I might have a little skewed view of labor, but I am a mom of five. I've done this 5 times now. And when I'm in labor, I want it done. I love the day. It's an amazing day, but I want to be holding my baby. And so I want to encourage you to use gravity, use hydration, use movement, use breathing, use essential oils, use music, distraction, use things that are going to help you progress in labor rather than things that are going to hinder you, like getting really stressed does. So one of our main goals of using essential oils is to stay out of that crazy stress cycle that happens when we're under a lot of pressure. So let's talk about early labor. Early labor, the contractions are pretty far apart. So if it's in the middle of the night, you may be sleeping in between contractions, and that's just fine because you'll stay out of the stress cycle that way. If you're up and about, go ahead and go for a long walk. Go ahead and alternate sitting and rocking with, cooking at the stove. Try to be as active as you possibly can, but keeping in mind that you need to conserve some energy because you've got a long labor ahead of you, maybe a short labor. So during early labor, I love to use oils that are going to be uplifting and also calming at the same time. So the oils I recommend, of course, we talked about jasmine and clary sage to increase the strength of the contractions. We're going to use that at every stage until pushing. And then Whisper is a great hormone blend that's really nice that you can rub right on your abdomen. And then Balance is a grounding blend. This blend is wonderful for coaches and mom and anyone in the room alike because it's just a beautiful smelling combination of grounding oils as well as being really calming. Frankincense has 1,000 uses, but for labor, frankincense is wonderful because of its calming and its properties that help with mental health and stability and just being able to avoid anxiety and that kind of thing. So increasing mood as well is a good side or a good effect of frankincense. You're going to be changing positions. You're going to be doing some breathing, staying out of the stressed breath and doing those deep abdominal breathing. You're going to be rocking. If you get in the bath during early labor, it may actually slow your labor. So bath seems pretty relaxing and wonderful, and it is, but save that to active labor. Let's move to active labor now. Active labor is when your contractions are between 3 and 5 minutes apart. And when your contractions are at this point, it's taking a lot of energy from you and you're feeling a little worn down. So this is a great time to turn on a diffuser with things like Serenity or Lavender. Or if you need some energy still because you are maybe getting pooped out, you might want an Elevation or Wild Orange. All those oils are great things to try during active labor. You may need a massage in your low back as baby starts to move further and further down into your pelvis. So you can do a massage on mom's back. Typically in early labor, if moms like to be touched, it's a light massage. In active labor, it's going to be a little bit deeper. Lavender in the bath is great at this time. So remember I said don't get in the bath necessarily during early labor. During active labor and transition, getting in the bath is really helpful. So it'll calm you and again, keep us out of that stress cycle. Tensing up will cause pain. So we want to do everything we can to not tense up and kind of give over to that pain. We want to just stay calm and breathing and humming or using positive affirmations or rocking or whatever is helpful for you. Deep blue can be useful for moms if you're having some leg cramps. Leg cramps are pretty common during transition and active labor as all the blood flows going to mom's uterus. So you can take a little deep blue rub and work through her legs, whether she's having leg pain or not, just to encourage her that blood flow there and to prevent those terrible cramping. Basil is another oil that's really helpful for pain. So you can put that on your temples or you can put that on the back of your neck or right on your abdomen. So basil can be used from active labor all the way through pushing. So that's a great one. Geranium is another really nice oil for enhancing mood and kind of producing a can-do attitude. And so you can use that and you can put that over your heart and that way she's smelling it, or you can put that in the diffuser. Moving on to transition. Transition is definitely where the contractions are right on top of each other, and so it can be a really trying time. So again, it'll be a lot of work for coaches and mom, both to stay calm, keep breathing, keep moving, keep using gravity. You can use a wet washcloth as your friend during labor. You can add a drop of any oil that you're feeling like you need. For example, it's not that uncommon during transition for moms to feel nauseous. And so 1 drop of peppermint on a washcloth, and you can set it right here so she can smell it. That would be really nice. Or even peppermint in your hand to breathe it in would be helpful. Whisper, keeping that clary sage and jasmine going, balance. All these oils are going to help you during this time. Mom typically gets really dry lips during this period, so I went ahead and added a doTERRA lip balm to the oil package that I put together that would be a labor kit for you if you're interested in getting started with that. That's why that's in there. A caution on baths. Once mom's water breaks, we don't want oils in the water. So putting lavender in the water, putting geranium in the water, it's so calming. It feels amazing. And that can be used during transition. But when the water breaks, you'll need to go ahead and stand up, maybe walk the halls a little bit while they drain the tub and then refill it back up before you get back in. And the reason that is because we don't want oils to get into baby's eyes or for them to ingest it. All right. Basil can be continued to be used on your temples, back of the neck, and abdomen for pain during this transition time. Rose and neroli are roller bottles that doTERRA has that are amazing for stress. And they're great like for trauma. And really, transition is just this time of real physical intensity. And so rose and neroli are great choices to rub on mom's abdomen or on the bottom of mom's feet. The reason why we often recommend using oils on the bottom of the feet is because that's where the pores are the largest. And quite honestly, a lot of moms don't like to be touched during transition, and they might want a really deep massage on the low back. Remember I said early labor, light massage, active labor, a little harder. Well, now you're going to want that really deep, strong pressure on her sacrum. And so deep blue is good for that. But if she doesn't want to be touched at all, or you're alternating between rubbing her legs, you can put that neroli and rose on the bottom of her feet and just give her a really nice foot rub during that time if she's in a good sitting position during transition. Now, transition moves on to pushing, and pushing is really hard work, but it's also really exciting because you know that baby's almost here. And so if mom liked the lights down and things pretty calm during transition, she may want the lights on, and we might want something like wild orange or elevation in the diffuser that's really uplifting and encouraging and invigorating. Clary sage and jasmine can still be used during this time. Ylang Ylang and petitgrain are also two oils that are very calming and soothing. We want to prevent hyperventilation, so you put oils on the chest. Really, peppermint is a great one for opening up airways. We have a breathe oil if moms are prone to being real stuffy or whatever, that might encourage her. Jasmine warm compresses, so a little bit of jasmine rolled into a wet washcloth and just on her chest or on her abdomen are great during pushing. Basil, again for pain. Serenity is amazing for stress. It really is a great oil for anxiety anytime. And so it's a really useful one in labor, and that one can be put in the diffuser or just smelled or even just right out of the bottle. So congratulations, baby has now been born, and it's not quite over yet. The placenta still does need to be delivered, and so those contractions, while they'll take a little lull, they will start up again. And when they do, Whisper is a great blend. You can put it on a washcloth, put it right on top of mom's abdomen during the this afterbirth stage. You can do a little massage on your fundus with lavender. We want that lochia flow. That's after the placenta has been delivered. You now have all these open blood vessels. We want your uterus to contract and return back to the size of your fist. And that process will require some continued contractions. So don't be alarmed. If those are kind of slowing down and you want to accelerate it, then you can use that jasmine and clary sage again, or whisper. And that should be really helpful. Geranium is also a good choice for washcloth. Wipe mom's face, soothing, put it on her. Geranium can be put on a washcloth and put on her belly warm, and then when it gets cooled down a little bit, you can put it back on her belly. That's really comforting and soothing after birth. So we'll stop there. I believe in you. I believe you can have an amazing natural labor, and these oils can just really make all the difference in your mindset and creating an environment of I can do it and relaxation all at the same time. So blessings. Bye.